Hi everyone, welcome back. In this particular video, we'll try to understand another very interesting concept inside function called nested function. So far you have learned like how we can perform, let's say, nested loops, okay, then nested, let's say, conditional statement. We can also use nested functions inside of Python, okay, it is also possible. So this is completely actually practical things I can show you. There is nothing theory. So let's go to our code editor and try to understand this nested function inside Python. So guys, I'm inside my code editor, and what is nested function means like the function inside a function. Okay, nested means something inside something. Okay, like you learn like loop. Okay, loop inside a loop. This is called nested loop. Like you learn, let's say, conditional statement, condition inside a condition. Okay, this is called nested. So similar wise, we can also use nested function. So for this, what I can show you. Let me give one example. First of all, let's say I will define a function. Let's say the function name is f. Okay, so this is going to be my function. So let me zoom. Now inside this particular function, I will define another function, let's say g, and inside g, I'm going to just write, okay, inside function g. And here I'm going to write inside function f. Fine. Now if I execute the program, it will work fine. Now there is no output because I have to call this particular function. Let's say if I call this particular function f, now just pause the video and just let me know which particular message would be printed. It would be printed inside function g or inside function f. Just try to think and try to give the answer in the comment. Just try to pause the video and just to think. First of all, try to think and give the answer. So let me show you. See, if I execute this particular function f, it will print actually inside function f. Why? Because you can see I'm calling this particular function f. Okay, this particular function is getting called. And inside this particular function f, I'm having another function called g, but this particular function is not getting called anywhere. That's why it will print this particular statement inside function f. Now, if I just write like that, let's say function g, okay, function g, will it work? This particular function I'm trying to call here, will it work? Let me know. See, if I execute, it will throw error. G is not defined. That means you can't actually access any kinds of local function, okay, outside of that particular function. It's not possible. This is a similar concept like your local variable, okay, local and global variable we have learned. So this particular function, it is inside this particular function, okay. So this is called local function, okay, this is called nested function. That's why I can't access it outside of this particular function. It's not possible. But if I want to call this particular function, where I can call inside this particular function called f, okay. Inside f function, I can call this particular function called g. Now if I execute, what will happen? Okay, if I execute this particular f, what will happen? See, now it will print inside function g, then inside function f. Why? So let me show you. I'll copy this particular code and I will go to my Python tutor website. So now I'm going to just visualize this particular example. But before that, first of all, let me call this particular function f. Fine. Now if I visualize it, now see, execution has started. Now if I click on next, so what will happen? My function will get called and it will create a global frame first of all, okay, which is nothing but f. Now my execution will go inside this particular function. Now see, I'm inside my f function. Now inside f function, there is another function actually I have created called g. Okay, now what it will look for? It will look for that particular function call, whether g is getting called or not. See, g is getting called. If I click on next, g is getting called. Okay, you can see g is getting called. So it will call this particular g. Okay, and you can see if I execute the program, another block would be created. Okay, you can see this is the f block, this is the g block. That means you can see 3 block has been created inside this particular memory. First of all, the global block, that means this is my main function block, then the f function block, okay, this function block, then the g function block. Okay, so these two is my functional block, this two is temporary, and this one is the permanent one. That's how if you're having some other function also inside this particular function, it will create that many of block. Okay, independent block it will create every time. Now see, it will go inside g, and first of all, it will print this particular message inside g function. You can see inside g function will be printed and it will return none because I'm using print statement without return statement. Now if I again click on the next, it will come in the print function. Now it will print this particular inside function f. Okay, now this particular function print would be printed. Now it will return run again because I'm not using any return statement. Okay, now see, this particular function execution would be closed and my code will break. Okay, so that's how actually this particular code is working. Okay, so whenever I'm executing the function f, first of all, it is executing this particular function. Okay, that means g function, then it is executing this particular print statement. That's why g is coming at the first, f is coming at the last. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let's say I'll show you another thing. Actually, I'll copy the function here, and now let's say here if I just give if I call the if here, so what will happen? Okay, if I call the if here, what will happen? And now let me also call this particular if here. Now see, if I execute this particular code sorted with output, see, let me show you. See, it will actually print this particular statement infinite of time, and there would be a condition, my memory will get full and I'll get a recursion error. Okay, I'll get a recursion error, maximum recursion depth exit. Okay, exit it. This is the error actually I'll get. That means what is happening, you have created one infinite loop here. See what is happening, you are calling this particular function f will getting called, and inside function f actually I'm having g, that means g is getting called, and inside g actually I'm again calling this particular function f. So again I'm calling the function f, that means again it is calling g, again g is calling f is calling g is calling f. That's how it is doing repetitive time, and you are creating a recursion here. I'll tell you the recursion. What is recursion? Recursion is a concept inside actually programming. Going forward, we'll be learning in advanced programming part, we'll be learning this particular recursion as well. And this is the concept of data structure and algorithm concept. If you want to learn data structure and algorithm, DSA concept, this particular things is super important there. Fine. As of now, just try to remember, it is running one infinite loop. Okay, that's why it is getting the memory error. Okay, in this particular situation. I hope this is clear. So this is the actually concept of the nested function. And sometimes actually you need nested function. Sometimes let's say you want to hide one functionality of your application. Okay, so you can keep this particular function inside a function itself, okay, so that other can't see your function. Okay, what you have written inside that. Okay, that is the idea. So yes, this is all about our nested functions. I hope you enjoyed. So thank you so much for watching this particular video, and I will see you next time.